last time we stopped with you guys finally making it out of the mortuary, walking up the stairs. Um, so the stairs are fairly long. It takes you guys like a good few minutes to walk up all of them. You get to the top, there's double doors. But like it's very obvious they're open. You can go out, no problem. Um, when you emerge from the mortuary, you go into a dilapidated city square. There are stacks of jumbled tenements, grimy hodgepodges of lopsided architecture joined by rickety bridges loom over the persistent low-hanging fog. An impossible city unfolds around you. Bladed buildings rise on all sides, the urban sprawl spreading along the inside of the gigantic torus. The metropolitan ring curves upward into the passing clouds, disappearing behind the haze. So basically, if you don't know what the torus is basically imagine a donut with the inside hollowed out and you're on the inside and the city's like, so you're on the bottom, there's city above you, city on the sides. Or on one side.
God's kind of place is this? Gedry, what did you say this place was again? The center of the something?
You're muted.
It's a city that lies at the center of where all the outer planes come together.
Oh, is this really a joke that they call it the outer because we're in the inner?
Yeah, you know how you talk about like the heavens above and that sort of thing?
Yeah.
That's outer. We're inner. The directions don't make sense. It's just a convenient way to wrap your brain around it.
Okay, so how do we leave? Can we leave?
Portals.
Okay.
I don't know where they are. I don't know where to find them. I don't know how to activate them.
I don't know. I glance over at the other three and say, thoughts?
Sill's just staring at Cease.
My first thought is someone wants us here. So for what purpose? Who knows?
I mean, that's great, but I don't want to be here.
What's the area smell like?
The area is clearly not one of the better areas of town, you would guess. There's a faint smell of sewage. Like you just came up from the mortuary, so there's like lingering smells of like death and rot and decay coming up from behind you. It doesn't smell as bad as when you were in the mortuary in general, but it is still not anything coming close to pleasant smelling anywhere.
Okay. Are there rocks beneath us or paving or what are we standing on?
It's like a like cobblestone walkways basically. If you look around, there is no sign of any kind of nature of any sort at all. In fact, like as far as you can see in all directions, excluding down because you're standing on ground, left sides upwards, other sides, you see city. Up sides, you can barely see like the tops of buildings through the fog.
There's got to be a way to get above this. We've got to be able to see to get our bearings to figure out how to get out of here.
I've never seen anything this big, but the biggest, largest places that I've seen tend to be owned by people with lots of money, so I don't know how easy that would be. But you're right, this fog is not helpful.
Whoever sent us here and left these gifts for us
And
obviously
not
has some
cheap ones.
No, they clearly have some agenda to do with us, some purpose. And I'm sure if we can just manage to survive, they will make contact. It's not like we have any direction at this point.
Well, my only other thought is we can. These portals are as everywhere, like you seem to think. Maybe we could find out in our spare time. Seems we have all of that right now. How to find the one that takes us home.
Quick question. Last session, who was it that was kind of having an idea of what we were doing? I don't know, someone was saying, hey, I have a feeling we should go this way, and I think I've heard of this place before. Was that Indus?
That was Gendry, but it was very much like, I've heard of Sigil. I know roughly what the deal is. I don't know any specifics.
Okay. So I'd be like nudging you gently and asking you if you know anything about what we're looking at now, since according to my character, you seem to have the only idea whatsoever of what's happening.
I assume it's the city of Sigil. I've never been here. I've read of it.
What is the city known for? I'm saying that to Gendry.
It's at the center of everything, and I know that there are supposed to be portals here that lead basically everywhere if you could find the right one.
Oh, that sounds very lucrative.
Yes, but it's also kind of like thrones would be in our world. They may be all over the place, but the ones who sit on them don't want to let anybody just use them.
Great.
Looking around, is this like, are we able to see any other creatures or people or anything of that variety?
So where you guys came out is kind of like in an alleyway almost, and there doesn't seem to be anybody immediately around in the alleyway where you guys are. But looking towards the end, on either end, you do see people passing by, like there's other streets or whatever quickly moving about.
At least where I last was, usually the smaller streets aren't the ones that get the most people, so we find the biggest street that takes us to the more popular areas, and the popular areas might be able to give us a way forward, a guide. And
Worth a shot.
Walk towards the area where people were walking by out of this alley.
Okay. You guys start walking down the does everybody walk with him as he starts walking down the alley? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay. Gedry, go ahead and give me a dex save real quick.
Woo! I rolled a 2. Oh no, that's a 9. It's hard to read. It's upside down.
All right.
It's a 9.
So as you guys are like walking down the alleyway, all of a sudden, from behind you, like somebody kind of bustles by and like bumps Gedry to the side. You don't fall all the way over or anything, but you like wobble a little, like what the hell? And when you see who it is a tall, very irritable tiefling with devilish hooves, and he immediately turns around and looks at you, Gentry, and says, "Take a short stick and pike it, you leather-headed Burke, or I'll put your name in the dead book. I swear, more and more of you clueless wing up in the cage every day. Quit flapping your bone boxes and go back to your own burgs."
You could
Nico
direct
starts
us.
laughing.
I like him.
And
I
it would be
figured you would.
such a girly laugh too, just an
Oh my god. You were about to ask something, Endis?
If you have directions for how we could get back to our burgs.
All right. Right as he's about to answer, you hear behind you a higher pitched sound. You're like, "Who are you calling Burks? You better get out of here. You're the one who ran into them. You whatever spling of expletives you don't really put together. It's not from any language you've heard." And he looks immediately like a little chagrined and then takes off. And if you turn and look, you see this person behind you. The background is just the background. The person is the important part. And she looks, after he bustles off, she looks at you and she's like, "You guys don't look like you're from here."
Anybody else have just a black screen?
no.
Oh
I've got it.
no.
No, I see it.
You may need to scroll down or something.
I had to zoom out.
I've zoomed out and scrolled all around.
Oh no.
Maybe refresh and sometimes it doesn't update.
I would say to her, well, that's kind of an obvious observation.
Why?
I gesture at the two scaly people.
There's all kinds of scaly people here. Of all kinds. You got scaly things, furry things, feathery things, people things.
She thinks scaly people are weird,
Woozy
so
things.
there you go.
Hey now, I just haven't seen your kind.
Yeah, very much not from here. Well, my name is Parisa, and it seems like you guys are in need of a tout.
Can you spell that, please?
Parisa.
I would say, why, yes, actually, I'd say we do.
Well, I generally charge about 3 gold a day for full day services, but I can help you get wherever you're trying to get in the city.
That seems like a perfectly fine amount to me. What do you think? And I'll look at my compatriots and waggle my eyebrows.
What is it you provide exactly?
Oh, I'm a tout. I know how to get all around the city. I know the people to avoid, the places to avoid, the places to go, where you can get reliable goods, services, the better parts of town. You guys, I don't know how you ended up here, but this is not a good part of town.
Can I do like an insight check or something to see if I think that she's being truthful?
Yep.
Okay. I don't have my actual dice out yet. Oh, okay, that works for me.
I'm sorry, what did you get, Splenda?
20.
20? Yeah,
It's 22 total. She rolled a nat 20.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she seems very earnest in her desire to help you guys for a price.
Okay. Then I will continue smiling at her as politely as I can. To anyone who knew Mina, it would look a little fake, but to everyone else, it would look very polite.
Teresa, is it? Teresa? What is it?
Parisa.
Parisa.
Yep. Thank you, Rex.
Teresa, how much are you wanting to charge us?
Well, it's about midday, so if you need help for the rest of the day going around, I'd charge you about 1.5 gold. But for a full day, if you need a full tour of the city and getting around and showing around, I usually charge 3 gold per day.
Okay. With that, does it come with insight into that area of the town, or who we should avoid, things like that? Okay.
Yeah. Any questions you have, I'm happy to answer to my best of my ability.
Okay. So I I reach into my pouch and I hand her 8 gold total.
Mm-hmm.
And I just hand it, I hold it out in a closed fist, ready to drop it into her hand. And I tell her, I'm gonna pay for the rest of today, but I'm gonna put 2 days on retainer in the event that we need you.
Oh, okay. That is acceptable to me.
And I give her the 8 gold. And there's a little extra because I don't like carrying weird change.
Yep. When you're handling the gold, you notice that it doesn't look like any kind of gold pieces you've seen before. Like, it's clearly gold pieces, but like the icon stamped on it is not recognizable to you at all. But she looks at it and takes it and says, thank you, pockets it, and she's like, all right, so what do you guys want to do first? What do you want to know? Where do you want to go? You guys want to do fun stuff? Are you tourists?
I'd like to ask
We are.
about... Oh,
Go
go
ahead.
Oh. Okay, sure. I would like to ask about like the political structure here. Who is in charge? Is it, do we have to stick to the main streets in order to be safe? That sort of thing.
Well, the main person in charge here is the Lady of Pain, and I would say I hope you don't ever run into her, because I mean, she's great. She keeps things under control, but she also doesn't tolerate people very well. And it's very easy to upset her, and if you're doing something she thinks is wrong, which sometimes can just be talking to her when she doesn't want to be talked to. So,
I'm sorry.
if
Did
you
see
see
Lady of Pain?
Yes. If you see this very, very tall woman floating with long red flowing robes and like a mask, a very stern mask with like rays around it, go the other way. I would not do that. Aside from that, the city is split up into different sections. And within these sections, there are 12 different major factions that run everything. They're often kind of low-key alliancing, fighting each other, but it doesn't get too bad for the most part, because last time they went out full-on war with each other, the lady shut down all the portals, which kind of sucks because sewage started backing up in the lanes. Nobody could get food in or out. Like, it just shuts down the entire city as soon as the portals stop working. It's bad for everybody, and it basically forced them to come to a settlement much quicker. In addition to those 12 major factions, there are also some more minor factions vying for power, and it changes all the time. If I had to suggest who would be worth avoiding, oof. Well, I think probably the Harmonium faction is probably your best luck, but you shouldn't really have any trouble with them unless you've like broke some planar laws or whatever. They only tend to go after bad people, but I would avoid them. If you see like guys all in red plate, they have badges that have like a down pointed sword, I would go the other way. It's not really worth your time engaging with them. That could be bad. Likewise, there are also the Fraternity of Order, which I don't know if you're law abiding, maybe it'll be okay for you, but like their motto is who discover laws to find truth. So like it's quite possible they have laws that you may never even thought of or heard of, so running a riot of them can be really easy. I would avoid them as well. But for the most part, it's pretty normal city stuff.
Am I muted? No, I'm not. I would put my hand on her shoulder and just kind of like lean towards her and just be like, "Thank you. That is excellent information."
Welcome.
And then I would gesture at Cease.
Of course you did, right as I took a bite of my burger.
Of course.
Where did you get a burger? No.
I know. How did you manage that?
I grabbed it on the stairwell on my way out.
Mystery meat.
Rat burger. So let's start with something simple. Because I don't feel like we're going to get out of here in a day. At least not today. Let's start with getting out of this area where we probably shouldn't be. And locating a place for us to stay the night. Because some type of an establishment would be very pertinent going forward. And then maybe we'll see what time we have left for the rest of the day.
Okay. Would you like, so we have many kind of inns as like people come from everywhere and the city is always quite full of people. I would assume that you would want something more on the nicer side of things while not being extravagant, maybe?
I sleep on the floor in the woods. I don't have a level of understanding for extravagance.
Yes. Anything that can provide a level of safety.
I can understand safety.
Okay. I think then probably the ubiquitous Wayfarer would probably be your best bet, which I can take you over there. Normally he rents Rian Blackcomb is the innkeeper there. Normally he rents rooms for 2 gold per night, but I can tell him that I'm taking care of you guys, so he'll probably drop that to 1 gold per night if that works for you, and then you can get
What was
food.
it called again?
The Ubiquitous Wayfarer.
Wayfarer.
That is such a dramatic name.
I imagine they sell seafood there for some reason. I don't know why. I'm just getting like seafood vibes.
That is interesting.
and that's just a per room with a single bed and.
Yep.
Okay.
Individual rooms. Yeah, we can head over there now, get you guys settled, and then figure out what else you want to do. Also, since you guys have been so nice and paid ahead for possible future services, I think I can give you one of my maps too for your perusal.
That would be extremely helpful and
might
appreciated.
help
Thank
you a
you.
little bit. Think. There you go. There's a link to the map. There is a crescent moon on it currently. It is actually on there, and it is, she points it out as like, this is where we currently are, and this up here where the purple arrow is, that's where we're gonna head with the ubiquitous Wayfarer.
Is this like front and back map?
No, it is all on one page like this, and basically if you ask her about it, it's like, you just imagine putting the two halves together end to end to form a full circle, and that's the city.
Okay.
I have a problem.
Hmm.
On VTT, usually there's like a wall of chat that shows rules and stuff. That's not there for me, and I can't figure out how to get it back.
So if you go up the top, there's the thing with the, looks like a chat bottle with a line through it. That's the game log. Is that?
Nothing happens.
If that's not there, there's a like where you see sheet up at the top. Thing
Greater
where you
than,
make
less
the
than
character
sign.
sheet. Yeah, the greater than less than sign next to it. That one usually collapses or expands that sidebar.
Still not there.
Is there
I'm not-
something
So
in the sidebar?
What was that?
Is there anything in the sidebar? Like, is the
There
sidebar
is-
showing?
No, no matter what I do, the sidebar's not showing.
When that happened to me, that happened to me last week, and still had to send me an update for me to be able to see again.
Oh,
Great.
fun.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I think Syl had linked an update earlier today, or tonight.
This item is inactive?
What?
That's what it says in my browser, that VTT is inactive. Enable? Question mark? Okay, I guess I'll reload it now. An unexpected error occurred.
Yeah.
course it did. Who needs good errors?
Arlie, what
Mhm.
ward were we in? Did
You
tell
guys
us?
are currently in the hive.
The hive. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That's a good image of it.
Oh, is that? Am I seeing that right? Is that the mortuary? Big spiky building.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, my browser had an update too. Maybe that'll help.
Okay.
An unexpected error occurred. I also got rid of the extension and re-added it already.
Okay.
So, any ideas?
It's still not working?
I can't even load it at all now. I just get an instant error.
Oh.
Try a different browser.
Yeah.
Here's the error.
Ah.
What was that? Oh, that's the whole error. I see.
I have Firefox somewhere. Where's Firefox?
Oh.
Come on.
Internal function isn't a function. Oh, goody. It's always a good thing when an internal function just disappears. But also weird, like, was it there when you initially joined tonight, Splenda?
Mm-mm. No.
Hmm.
The error wasn't there until I restarted my browser and updated BTT to try and fix the chat thing.
Right. The chat thing wasn't there at all when you joined tonight, though.
Nope.
Hmm.
Okay. I am now trying on Firefox.
Yeah, it said you joined.
Yep, and I have a chat window now.
Yay!
Boy.
Mm-hmm. Alright. So, where were we? Oh, you guys were looking at the map she gave you. And she was
Yep.
showing you where she was going to take you to for the end.
And how long does it take to get from here to, point to the map?
Well, as long as like on a normal trip, it'll probably take us about an hour walking because you can only go so fast. It's a pretty busy city, and but it's a fairly far away too. Like we're all the way on this end, we got to get all the way over to that end and further down some.
Great. We just don't have a sense of scale yet.
Oh, well, do you know anything about Sigil really and like where it sits? And how it works?
At the confluence of the plains.
Well, yeah, and, like there's the Outlands, which is like this whole wild area. It's crazy, and then all of those hook up to other plains and stuff. And then in the middle, there's this giant spire, and at the top of the spire is the Sigil Ring, and so it's it is quite big. I'm not sure there is a bigger city. Well, I guess in all the Infinite Planes, there's probably a bigger city, but I've not been there.
The book I read was not specific on details.
You read a book about Sigil?
About the basics of the planes and how they function.
No.
It was almost more philosophical than factual, however.
Interesting. All right. Well, might as well start heading that away. And if you have any other questions while we go, feel free. And she starts walking down the alley. As you guys are going, you notice like it looks like endless just slums around you for the first little bit of the walk. After probably like half an hour or so, buildings start looking a little nicer. The streets seem a bit cleaner and stuff as you are transitioning into what is called the lower ward. Is anybody like actively looking at the map as you guys are going, or were you gonna wait until later to do that?
Oh no, I'm totally following along.
Okay. If you have the map and you're following along, you actually notice that the mark that's on the map marking where you are seems to be moving as you guys make progress through the streets and everything.
Neat.
It's fancy. You also notice that some of the wards, like the Hive, the Lower Ward, and the Clerk's Ward, are both sides of the map. But then other wards, like the Ladies' Ward, and the Guild Half Ward, are only on one half. So like half of the ring is one ward and the other half is the other one in that section. If that makes sense.
We each have like a quarter of a ring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything you guys wanted to ask her while you guys are traveling?
How easy is it to leave here?
I mean, it depends. So all of the factions kind of have their control over some of the portals. There's lots of portals. Some portals need keys. Other people have minor portals that go to like the Outlands and stuff. It's kind of a matter of getting to know the right people for where you want to go, and finding your way. The other thing, so teleporting and making your own portals is also somewhat limited too, because there are so many already. That's one of the things that the lady kind of controls a little bit. So, like, I know some people are really good with magic and they can create portals, but you can't just do that here.
So how do people get here?
Through relationships and stuff, people will let them in, or if they come in on business, they're doing something for somebody, business, or there is some tourism, but again, you need to have like some kind of patron to let you in, which, come to think of it, I'm surprised you guys don't know that. How did you get here?
We're fuzzy on the details.
It's complicated.
My working theory is we have a patron who has not introduced themselves.
That's interesting.
We woke up dead.
As you say that, she
Still.
literally stops and just like cocks her head at you. It's just like, how do you wake up dead?
Soras, you're
Yes.
alive. You can't wake up dead. You're either dead or you're awake.
Well, they thought
I
we
am
were
not a
dead.
necromancer. That's a different story. There was a complication somewhere.
What? Wait, where did you wake up?
What?
Were you guys in the mortuary?
We did get a tour of the mortuary, yes.
This is fascinating.
They decided we were a little too fresh.
I mean, you're pretty clearly alive, so I would say you're very too fresh.
I kind of get
I would
with
agree with
myself
that.
and say, I don't know, but does this place have a way to bathe?
Showers?
No shower.
Bathhouse?
But
even?
yes, not a bathhouse, but the innkeeper can arrange for you guys to have baths.
Maybe
Good,
a
'cause
creek.
I'm- Crow. A waterfall shower sounds amazing.
I don't think they have those here.
No.
At
You don't
least the
have
crematorium
waterfalls?
ashes.
There are waterfalls in the Outlands, but not here in Sigil.
Oh, that's like the best cleaning you'll ever get.
She does kind of look up and down the taller members. She's like, you might have to like, dangle, like work at different parts. I don't think he has a big enough bath for you guys, but
I think that's just Soraz.
I thought somebody else was pretty tall too.
I'm right at 6 foot.
Okay, so yeah, the two of you.
Gendry's not tall, but he's chunky.
Yeah, she doesn't. She just kind of like side eyes you a little bit, but she doesn't say anything. All right. Was there anything else you guys wanted to have a conversation about on the way? Or ask about?
Problem is, I'm sure she has good answers to things, but I don't necessarily know what to ask. Like, kind of like Gedry said, there's not a really clear picture yet.
Yeah.
So where do they keep the portals?
Well, all of the faction houses have portals in them, although those are guarded. And as I said, like there's portals out in the Outlands, but all of those you have to go through a gate town to get to, and then they're usually locked until they decide to let people through.
Right. And you said there's a portal to anywhere? Like literally everywhere? Interesting.
Every plane of existence. Although I will say you don't have to worry about gods showing up here. They are not allowed. So
Wait, what?
Why?
Can't they just do everything? Like,
the lady has banned them.
and she's more powerful than all of them?
Here at least.
How do you ban a god?
I don't know.
I was just thinking that. So, if gods aren't welcome here, can we still communicate with our gods?
Yeah, I don't see why not. They just aren't allowed to be here or take direct action here. You will see, like, as you explore the city, there's celestials, there's fiends, there's all kinds of stuff. And the other thing, don't pick any fights while you're here, because that will get you sent to the mazes pretty quick. And
Mazes?
well, it's like the city, but nobody's there, and you can't get out forever unless the lady decides to let you out.
So what happens if someone picks a fight with us, but we didn't start it?
I think usually they just take, if they get you, they put everybody. They don't want to deal with it. You might go to the cages instead of the mazes.
Great.
Yeah. I would avoid fighting.
Well, obviously, but I mean, as per the encounter that you saw, not everyone is of that mindset.
Yeah, well, he was putting up a front to scare you. That's why he threatened you with going to the cages and stuff, because he bumped into you.
Threatening us with something that we don't know is non-efficient.
That is a very good point.
So how big is this inn that we'll be arriving at?
Oh, it's big. It's geez, it's like a five-story tower. It's large. Uh, and if you talk to Rian, he probably can arrange for you guys to use the private dining room as long as nobody has reserved it.
Okay.
Which, since you have a big group, it might be nice rather than sitting in the in lobby dining area. You know,
Is his establishment generally busy?
fairly busy.
Okay. You did say that there is tourism, so what do the tourists come here for exactly?
Oh, gosh, there's all kinds of things. We have one of the largest markets ever with things from everywhere, obviously. Um, some people like to visit some of the faction headquarters, check them out, get to know them, maybe join. Um, Sometimes, people go and uh get like magical tattoos. Those can be fun. Oh, there's food from again everywhere. So like, if you want to try all kinds of unique types of food, this is one of the best places to do. Oh, there's also a thing where you can send a squeak. And basically there's rats, but they're very smart rats and they have psychic abilities and you can use them to send messages. So there's all
Fascinating.
kinds of things.
This is a lot.
So what about we'll say employment opportunities? Because money running out is not something any of us want to see.
Oh, yeah, there's work to be almost done with almost anything. If you're looking at staying here for a long time, you'll probably want to cozy up with one of the factions. Um, just because it can be hard to get by without the support of one of them. Although sometimes, that can also bring you some um, trouble as well, depending on the faction and what their current relations with the other factions are.
So which faction are you with?
I am unaffiliated, which is why I know sometimes it can be really hard.
I assume that could also be very lucrative because
Mhm.
you're not party to anyone or bound to any one location.
Yep. Yep. It does allow me to do some things I wouldn't be able to do otherwise and go some places.
Interesting.
Oh, what I was thinking, like you guys were in the mortuary, so you've already met one of the factions.
The undead?
No, the undead aren't a faction. That's silly. No. I mean the work. The Heralds of Dust, who believe everyone is already dead. They're in charge of taking care of all of the dead and processing them so that the city does not become overrun with dead.
Apparently they got a little sticky fingered.
Well, yeah. They have sometimes like the barrier between you're going to die and you are dead can get a little wavy with them. Although normally, unless you work there, you're not there unless you're dead. So that's why it was a little weird.
Yeah, it's a lot weird.
What about fun? What do people do for fun around here?
Oh, there's festivals. The There's a faction dedicated to sensation and like collecting every kind of sensation and emotion there is, so that can be a lot of fun for people depending on what kind of fun you like. I mean,
That seems uncomfortable.
oh, we're good.
Definitely uncomfortable.
There's just about almost anything you can imagine. There's also a casino here. That's a lot of fun if you like that kind of thing. All kinds of games of chance, like anything you could imagine, really. But I don't know that the person who runs that establishment doesn't necessarily let anybody in because it's a casino. You got to have some money to spend, and they don't like it when you owe them money you don't have.
That's fair. Not to sound brash, but how much further until we reach there? I'm starting to be disgusted by the smell of myself.
Oh, we're almost there. And like
We're not smelling the raining ashes from the crematorium and everyone else that went up in flame.
What?
At the mortuary, there was a crematorium. Crematoriums
Oh,
burn
yeah.
people, and they go up a chimney, and then the ashes fall.
Oh no, it just goes up.
Oh, that's better.
So you don't have graveyards here.
No.
How do
Gosh,
you
Where
How
would
do
we
you-
put that?
memorialize your dead?
I mean, some people wear little trinkets to remind themselves of people. There are like some places in the faction houses where you can make a little like memorial type thing, or people can do a little shrine in their houses, but there's nothing big and official, really.
What afterlife do you feel that your soul will go to? I'm sure there's a portal here somewhere.
I honestly don't know. Sorry, I got distracted by Daryl for a second. But yeah, I try not to think about that much. I just gotta get through the life living, you know. And about that time, she's like, "Oh, we've arrived," and she gestures, and you notice this very tall, like the other buildings are like normal, like 2-story buildings around this in the middle of it. There's this tall, like almost spire building. Um, and she leads you right in, and there is a dwarf behind the bar. And she introduces him as Rian Blackcomb. He's the proprietor of this inn. And she was like, "Oh, I don't think I got your names. I'm sorry, but these people have engaged my services for a few days, so I'm helping them out getting set up. They need a place to stay for a few days at least, I would assume." And he kind of casually looks over you guys and is like, "Each of you will need your own room."
Ideally.
Okay. Yeah, we can do a gold apiece for a room per day. And if you guys would like to all eat together in privacy, I do have my private dining room available. That would be an extra gold a day for all meals in there.
I think the rooms will be fine. And I mean, do you guys really care that we have to eat around other people? I don't see a problem.
If we had private matters to discuss, we could use it, but we could also use our rooms.
Well, I'm not sure all of you would fit in any of the rooms.
Either way, I don't think we have anything all that private to discuss yet.
Besides,
that
there's
we're-
lots of information to be learned by just listening.
Okay.
Then I think the room's done.
He grabs some keys for you guys, hands you each one with their room number. He's like, "You'll be on the 4th floor. I'm sorry it's so far up, but that's what I got right now."
And what are you guys thinking? 3 days? Couple?
Probably makes sense.
3.
If we need more, we'll know by then.
Fantastic. Thank you. Parisa says, "Well, I'll let you guys get settled in and everything. If you guys need me, let Rian know, and he'll send for me and I'll come right over."
Mina would be like, "Oh, thank you, darling," and another little soft touch on the shoulder.
I don't know what's come over her recently.
Who? What?
Is there I was pointing to Mina.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a day in the near future or a time in the near future that you are already booked?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Is there a day in the near future or a time in the near future that you are already booked within the next couple of days or so?
Oh, no, actually, it's been pretty slow lately, so.
Okay. I just didn't want to, pull you away from another task.
Yep. I'm pretty free, unfortunately.
I get it. Well, I do thank you very much. It was very fortuitous running into you when we did.
Indeed. Thank you very much. And she kind of trots out. Or prances out, I guess would probably be a better way to put it.
Is this person a centaur? A satyr?
Centaur?
She's technically a Bariaur. I don't know how to say that. But it's kind of like a llama centaur.
That explains the spitting. I would ask this. My first thing would be to inquire about washing up.
Rian actually looks a little bit relieved when you ask about that. He's like, "Oh, yeah, I can arrange to have somebody bring up tubs and hot water for you guys, so you can each bathe in your robes. So that will probably take, for all of you, soonest would be half an hour. We should get all of you set up in the next hour, if that works."
That would be wonderful.
I have no need.
Soras, at least splash water on your face.
Why?
We'll provide it just in case.
The smell of our travels has clung to your scales. And I'm sorry, I missed. Where are our rooms located?
Oh, up on the 4th floor.
4th floor. Thank you very much. And I don't wait for anybody. I just start going.
Was this like evening time at this point, or did I miss that? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, same. I guess I would go up to my room.
How many days did we decide on? So I mark off the right number of money.
3.
3. Thank you.
All right. Yep. They get you set up. You guys are free to bathe or not as you want, and rest of the evening is yours.
Does Silrez actually bathe or wipe himself down, or he still comes out reeking of disgust?
I mean, if he's like covered in any leftover goo, he would wipe that off, but he would have been like shaking that off on the walk.
That's disgusting. Dropping bits of goo on the walk. Okay. I would bathe. I'm assuming like the water that's brought up is nice and hot.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I would bathe and lounge in it until it starts to turn cold, almost.
Yeah.
And then like so in the rooms that we're at, are there like, do they provide like soaps and perfumes and all that stuff? Or
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah, so I'd put together some concoction of perfumes that would smell rather like meadowy, less city, more woodsy, you know. Or naturey, I should say. And then so all right, the stuff that we have in our inventory, our characters actually do have that. We did get that, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So I would
now.
Okay. I was like, hold on, let me make sure I didn't miss something. It's possible. So I would actually dress in my, instead of in my leathers, I'd dress in my traveler's clothes. Which if they had any stench on them from where we were, I would absolutely have washed them as well.
Okay.
But I'm gonna assume that because they were in a pack, they didn't get nastified.
That's fine.
And I'm airing out my studded leather because I can't wash it because I know leather shrinks. So I'm trying to air it out to get rid of the smell. And I would go down to the eating area afterwards.
All right. The rest of you do similar, or?
Yeah, Gendry's going to spend 10 minutes to ritual cast alarm on his room door before heading back down after getting cleaned up.
Cool.
Yeah, I would largely just clean up and then kind of go down immediately, just because it's still kind of uneasy that we have no direction. So that's what I would want to kind of start going over.
Does Silraz, after sprinkling a little bit of water on him for a second, go down immediately after, or do you wait a while?
Depending on the level of viscera, he would wash and hang dry his clothes at least, and kind of half layer in, because he's got a set of cold weather clothing, so he'd basically wear the unders from that so that he's covered, and then come down for food.
Okay. What about Mina?
Similar, but I also have a set of just like civilian clothes that I would be putting on.
Okay. So I'm going to assume from all of that probably Sil, Mina, and maybe Gedry probably make it down first, then followed by Kata, and Cease would be the last one probably down.
Oh,
Could you all-
fashionably late.
Genshin would also be spending some time trying to get the whatever stains out of his robe that he could, but it's
Yeah.
gonna probably not work, and I'll end up wearing the soiled robes because I don't have a second set of clothes.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love it. All right. So, let's say Silmina and Gedry, you guys get down there roughly the same time. Do you grab like a table together? Like, what are you gonna do?
I would walk up to the others and smile prettily and big.
What?
Does Gidry see a table that looks big enough for all of us?
There's one like a little off in the room.
I'll point to it. Shall we grab a table?
I think we shall.
Make my
After
way over there.
Yep. After you sit down, a waitress comes over after not very long and asks you like what you would like to drink, if you like food. She mentions that they have a whole bunch of different kinds of meat all grilled today. And then they also have some fruits and cheeses and breads.
Not sure what everyone's dietary preferences are. We'll probably want some of each, however.
I can make you guys a huge platter of everything. That'll work.
That would be great.
She looks at the empty seat. She's like, I'm assuming a couple more people will be joining you?
Yeah.
Alright. Cool.
Expect them shortly.
Awesome. And what would you guys like to drink?
I would ask if she has any wine.
Would you like red wine or white wine?
Red, and I would be like, oh, and keep it coming, and toss her a single gold coin.
No problem.
Thank
I
you,
will
darling.
have mead.
Cool. And for you, sir?
2 shots of whatever is a reasonable strength of liquor for a normal mortal.
Browse at him.
She kind of looks at you. She's like, okay, I think I got you. She bustles away.
The name of our guide, we have it in here somewhere, don't we? Parisa said that there are fiends and celestials here. I don't want to drink what a fiend drinks to get drunk. It would probably blow my head off.
After a few minutes, she comes back and gives each of you, like, your drink orders. She puts a shot of something very brownish red in front of you, and it smells like similar to like maybe scotch or something, but not quite the same, like a little different. And then she puts something more clearish to you that smells similar to like tequila.
I'll thank her. I'm assuming the prices for this is included in the fee that we paid for the rooms, or is it all extra?
That's included.
Okay.
She goes
I'll down
away.
the first one of them immediately. Scotch.
Cool.
After he puts the shot glass back on the table, I would pick it up and sniff it. What does it smell like?
Which one did you drink first?
It was the
I'm sorry.
Scotchy type one first.
Yeah, it smells similar to like scotches that you've smelled before, but there's a different smell there that you can't place, so it's not quite the same.
So I would pick it up and sniff it and be like, "Whew," and put it down, and then start drinking my wine.
The wine tastes like a very like deep and rich Zinfandel to you, kind of. All right. After a few minutes, she comes back with a big platter, puts out some plates, and then bustles away. And then about that time, I would say Kata probably joins you guys, or comes down the stairs, and you'd see them since they're not trying to be, hidden.
Yeah, Kid would wave a hand and spot him.
Mhm.
I walk up and grab the other shot glass from him and down it.
Saving that one.
For what? The trash? That was awful.
I would tip my wine glass at him and be like, "You can always get some wine. It's perfectly okay."
What's the wine being served in, incidentally?
It is actually. It looks like a glass, like crystalline almost.
I just snap my jaws, like not threateningly, but just like a click, click, click. Beaks and glass don't mix.
I raised my eyebrows again at him. Like the 12th time tonight.
Do you then take a seat, Kat? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. She'll come back over and ask you what you would like to drink.
Just clean water is fine for now, please.
She thinks for a minute. Are you sure?
Opposed to what? Dirty water?
I mean, anything else that is not water?
Oh. Sure, I'll have some of the. Ooh, gosh, that whatever clear stuff you just gave him. Oh. Yeah, the Mina, right? I will share the same whatever she has.
Okay. No problem.
And one more of those clear ones because he drank mine.
Okay.
Thank you.
And she glances at Mina and Syl real quick. You're like, good? Yeah, okay. Bustles off. Brings back the drinks. And then... whoop.
I would raise my cup at the newcomers and just be, "Cheers, darlings," and drink and eat bread and cheese.
You're awfully cheery for, having been kidnapped less than a day ago.
Oh, I'm sure weirder things have happened.
Kidnappings usually mean you're being held for ransom. This seems more like some kind of just general abduction.
I see everything as an opportunity.
I mean, I would like the opportunity to speak or beat whoever took me.
It is distressing.
That is perfectly understandable. We did not wake up in the most delightful of situations.
I doubt they would have lavished us with the gifts they did if they did not have a plan for us.
Perhaps it's me being new to this whole situation, but I don't know, kid. I'm kind of done just waiting around. I don't know where to go, but not having direction is bothersome.
About that time is when Cease joins you guys.
So I'm gonna enter into the room. How busy is this room?
It's like moderately busy. Like there's a good number of people in there, but it's not crowded.
So not like after Sunday, like Sunday after service at Cracker Barrel.
No.
Got it. Just making sure, getting my bearings here. So I would walk in. So my my traveler's clothes are like a pale lavender cotton undershirt with like um a brown cotton vest and brown leggings. So it's fairly plain, but like this little like of color.
Mhm.
And there's there's unique embroidery along like the hemming of like the vest and stuff. Um and I'll walk over and like I noticed that they're all there. So I strategically position myself to Silraz's right and just reach over him and grab something off of the platter, like I don't know, like a slice of apple or whatever. Um, I'm trying to figure out like how I would like what I would say with that. Well, that was extremely refreshing, and I feel 10 times better than when I woke up this morning, afternoon, whatever time that was.
I wish I could say the same.
Well, I mean, I don't feel disgusting.
I noticed most of you changed. I didn't have a spare set of robes in my bag. And the stains are not coming out.
We'll have to see what we can do to help you with that.
Yes,
Isn't there
I'll have to talk to
magic for
Parisi.
that?
There is, but I was also dressed for scholarly work, and that does not seem to be like what we're here for. Parisi did mention something about markets. Hopefully I can find something.
The waitress bustles back over and she's like, "Oh, dearie, what can I get you to drink?"
Oh, I would love a cup of hot tea and honey.
I can do that.
That
Okay,
would be
she looks
amazing.
Very good. Oh, she drops off the other 2 drinks that had been asked for, and then bustles away again.
So is this table round, square, rectangle?
It is a circle.
It's a circle. Okay. Where is everybody sitting around the circle?
I sat down first.
That's fair.
All I know is that I'm next to Gedry since I took his drink.
Okay. Do you want to be on his right or his left?
Sure, the right. I don't know. I
Okay.
haven't considered.
Whatever side that he didn't sit on, I'd sit on it. So, to get
Okay.
left or whatever.
Left. Yeah.
So then
And
the
then
question is,
since-
when he sat down, did he sit next to Mina and Gedry or not?
Well, with Mina and Gedry sitting on one side of the table, I would have sat on the other side.
Okay.
So would that put the open seat next to you between you and Kata or between you and Mina?
Yes. Because it
I-
would be me, across from me would be Mina, Gedry, Kata. From my
Right,
right,
they're
as I'm
chairs,
looking at it right
so-
to left. Open seats on either side of me.
Tables aren't usually made to sit 5, so it's probably made to sit
6
6.
makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Then I'll sit on Sill's right. So I would sit
Next to Kata or next to Mina?
I'd be next to Mina
Okay.
because Mina's on Gedry's left. So there's an open seat between Kata and Sill. This is pertinent information. I don't know why.
So
I'm gonna point to the platter. Anything other than the fruit good? That apple was delicious.
For those of you who've had it, it's all like middling food. It's not amazing. It's not awful. It's okay.
Gedry will pick up
know.
another piece of the meat and just like snap it in half with his beak. Like, grilled meat's fine.
Yeah, but they left the eye in that thing there, and it's looking at me.
As long as it's not blinking at you.
I reach
No,
over and
it's
cover
doing
it
that
with a
too.
leaf. I just reach over, I grab like a leaf of lettuce or something, just cover it. Nope, we can't see you now.
She comes back by, drops off your tea. It smells a little bit chamomile-y, a little bit like some other kind of earthy thing that you can't quite place.
Is there any fish in the platter?
There is some grilled whitefish of some sort.
That's what I would be chowing on.
Is there fruit on the platter that we wouldn't recognize?
Yeah, there's actually a lot on there that you wouldn't necessarily recognize. It all has some vague similarity to things that you've seen before, but nothing's quite right. Like the apple kind of tasted pear-ish, things like that.
Okay.
Wow, what a place. The durian doesn't smell bad. So, figure we should have a plan in place before we get up tomorrow, maybe. That way there's just no unnecessary questions that we aren't aware of lingering. What's the plan for tomorrow?
How could we possibly make a plan?
There's so much in the unknown.
Places to go.
I need new clothes.
They did say they have a large market here. We could make
Oddly
that
enough,
happen.
I did just happen to get some new armor, so I certainly don't want to carry another heavy set.
I'm still operating under the assumption that our supposed patron will make contact with us somehow. Maybe by those rats that Teresa mentioned. Until that happens, though, I don't know what direction we can have.
Somebody had to have seen us come in.
Well, whoever brought us here has some level of resources, but not enough to bring us here openly or securely. Whether it was by accident or desperation, I cannot say. We do not have the data. But I feel if it was one of the factions that were bringing us here for some reason, we would not have woken up in the mortuary.
That's a question we'll have to bring up to.
Teresa?
Yes, thank you. I was just looking for the name in the notes.
I saw this. I saw the reflection of your screen switch, or the light of your screen switch. I was like, I know what he's doing.
Yeah. How do the dead end up at the mortuary? Is there a group that brings them there? Can anyone just drop off a body? Like,
If we were dropped off there, who dropped us off? And why?
right. If it was a group that, this what are they called? The Heralds of Dust. Did they just is that part of their task of managing the dead, is going and getting the dead? And if someone picked us up, then where did they bring us from?
So I have a brief theory, and I mean brief as in it literally just came to me, and I'm working through the logistics of it still. But Gedry, you said that you believe we have a patron that hasn't revealed themselves yet.
someone brought us to Sigil, and someone left
Right.
those gifts at the exit to the mortuary with our names upon them.
Right. What if, I should say it's plausible that the patron, if you will, was powerful enough to teleport us here? So they got us through a portal and teleported us to that room. At the same time, they would have to be powerful enough to be able to wipe away memory of them, memory of where we were, memory of how we got here, memory of going through a portal or interacting with whoever it was that took us through said portal. Because I don't know about you guys, but I got a lot of spots missing some dots here.
Advanced magic could do that. It's beyond my talents.
Same.
One thing to consider, just drawing dots between the smallest of connections that we have in what we know so far. Parisa also mentioned that the Lady of Pain was able to shut down access to portals for a time. It's possible that whoever has brought us here could not go through the normal systems for some reason because the Lady of Pain denies them access. Or some similar thing.
Or they have an in with her and they were granted temporary access.
We just don't know anything.
I'm aware. I feel like I know less now than I did when I woke up. I just have more questions. The fruit that I'm eating, I set it down. I'm like, I need something sweeter than this. I need to eat my emotions tonight.
Henry sort of narrows his eyes and looks around at everybody for a moment, and then says, "Here's an interesting question. Where are we all from? I know Kata. I've gathered that Silraz and Cease know each other as well. What, are we from the same world, though? Do we even know that?
I don't know.
What world are you from?"
Do we
There's
remember?
You guys remember the names of the place you are from, and you remember things about the place that specifically relate to you, like general climate, stuff like that, places you've been, but like you don't remember like more detail than that. It's very hazy.
there's more than one world.
I've heard tales of other worlds. You have the outer planes sort of sitting on the top of everything else. Then you have the prime material planes underneath them, but those planes are like layered on top of each other like a lasagna or something.
Loraz, is he talking about the planes, like planes of knowledge?
Well, those would have been the upper planes. But we just had the world and the upper planes. That's it. No other world, just world. World, I mean, it had a moon.
Indeed,
You
it
have
did.
one moon?
Yeah?
Well, no.
Well, one important moon.
One surviving moon. There were two, but one kind of exploded.
Just a little explosion. I wasn't involved.
I remember there being more than 2. I can't remember the exact number, but it was more than 2. Can you remember, Akata? Something definitely stole our memories.
I
I don't like
remember
it.
I should know this.
looking up at the skies at night and looking for shapes and if we needed navigation, but no, I just can't.
Why can't I remember scholarly information that I have read in a book about Sigil, but not the skies of my own homeworld? This is not right.
I can say that Gedry, your kind are not in my world.
We're not that common in my world. Though we do wander.
Well, our world has people and turtles. We don't have turtle people.
I am a turtle, not a turtle.
We don't have
Yes, you are.
turtles.
You are turtle people.
So
I would
then
say a
the
safe
question
bet
would
that
be, who could we see that might understand a kind of magic that could wipe out memories?
I'm not even sure what the point of the theft of memories is.
maybe it's a side effect.
I mean, spellcasting as a service was a thing where I'm from. I do remember that clearly. That, I mean,
You used to pay me for spellcasting services, so yes.
yes, that was something I do know. And so I have to assume something like that exists here. Perhaps with enough money, something like this could be reversed.
Depends on if the memories are suppressed or if they've been stolen, I suppose.
Or damaged.
Comes back around every time to knowing who did this to us and why.
Knowing how it happened first is going to be important to determine if we're going to be able to regain them. If it's damaged, the likelihood is smaller. If it's intentional, the likelihood is smaller. Wonder if a healer could help.
This better not have damaged my reasoning. My mind is my greatest talent.
Your mind seems to be intact. You seem to be doing well.
You don't know me though, and how would I know if my mind is damaged?
Well, you don't creep me out, so I'm gonna give you a plus. I think tomorrow I'm gonna go look for a healer. If I can find a good enough healer who can analyze the brain of mine that's been damaged, they might be able to help me uncover memories, which could help determine or figure out how we got here. If the right memories end up uncovered. I feel like I'm grasping at mist, just trying to remember stuff. Like I feel like I can almost remember it, and then it just like right through my fingers.
It's almost like it's a punishment. When I was growing up, they would tell stories of great beings who would be punished. And it sounds a lot like this maze where they had their own little domain, and no matter what they did, that was their life now.
Seems unusually cruel to punish someone and remove the memory of why they're being punished, however.
Then they don't know that they're being punished.
I
They don't
feel
even-
punished.
Feel like this is an unexpected consequence for something that they wanted to have happen. And they didn't know how to manage it or hide it, so they dumped us. I could be completely wrong, but it does have that feel to it.
They still left the gifts at the exit from the mortuary.
So in the hopes that we could get out.
Yes.
It may have been an act of desperation, but it wasn't unplanned.
Maybe they hid us in the mortuary until we woke up. Because that was the only safe place to hide us.
And
we're letting bodies simply lie there until they got juicy.
Wow, yeah.
If they were hiding us, that makes sense to, maybe something in our memories is damaging to someone or something. I don't know. And
it could have been a safety precaution. If we were damaged or something like that for whatever reason, whether intentionally or accidentally, we'd have to get our wits about ourselves to be able to successfully leave the mortuary. And that would mean that they wouldn't have to worry about us getting out when we weren't prepared for it yet. Not so much as a test, but as a security measure to make sure that we weren't too quick to leave.
Or unprepared.
Like making someone with a leg wound walk down the hall before you let them leave the hospice.
Does anybody else find it remarkably well timed that Parisa showed up when she did?
Oh, I haven't trusted her since the moment she showed up.
It just seems weird.
I just have no reason to particularly suspect her of wrongdoing either.
I do wonder if somebody sent her that way. She could be an unintentional clue to finding out what happened.
And if not, she's a useful asset in finding her way around.
Arlie, while we're having this conversation, I'm going to try and flag down the server and ask if they have cake.
Oh, I think today we have lemon cake and strawberry cake.
Okay. Let's go with strawberry.
Okay.
Thank you.
After a few minutes, she comes back with like the largest, like biggest piece of strawberry cake you've ever seen. Like it's so many layers. Like you start counting the layers and you like lose it at 10.
Can I get extra forks?
Oh yeah, yeah. Hands them
Thanks.
out.
I just slide it into the middle and just start like I just dig in. I'm like, help yourselves. So aside from I think I'm torn. Part of me wants is thinking finding a healer to get our memories back is going to be the most helpful thing. But we also need to I feel like we should question Parisa to see if there's someone that sent her in that direction, maybe?
If it's such a bad part of town, what was she doing in there?
She
Yes.
offers tours to people who need guidance. Why would there be anyone who needs guidance outside of the mortuary?
Yeah. I mean, it's possible she could have been like following the dude that ran into you. But if she's a for hire, I don't know what she is for hire other than a tour guide.
Which there's minimal tourism from her own words.
Yeah. Something just feels out of place. And I don't just mean us.
Well, if Gedry's right about somebody bringing us here for a reason, makes sense they would provide a guide. Why they wouldn't explain themselves as such, I'm not sure, but it would explain the convenient timing.
Fewer questions if we don't know which questions to ask.
Think, Cease, if you go see your healer, at least Gedry and I would have time to go to the market, perhaps. Or do we need to stick together? Or I don't know how pertinent this is. I don't know what kind of danger we're actually in.
I don't know. I think if Silraz goes with me, we should be fine. I don't want to overwhelm the healer either. Healers can be fickle. At least the ones I've worked with.
I think until we get a better handle on what is going on, we should be cautious about splitting up. I don't mean that we shouldn't, but do on one objective out from the inn, and then come back and touch base again until we can figure out what's going on. And if anything happens, try to gather everyone back together so that we can deal with it together rather than herring off by ourselves.
That's fine then. Let's plan on that then. Did we want to go to the market first thing? Or did we just want to go straight to the healer?
I'm good with either. We can go to the market first.
Yes, Gedry, that would allow you a change of clothes before we need to be anywhere else.
That suits me.
Let's...
Roads aren't terrible, but the stains aren't coming out. At least the smell is mostly gone.
Let's plan on waiting until after our first couple errands to possibly confront our guide.
That's fair.
We may get more information in the morning too.
Even though I don't know how long I was under having my skin start to come off from a black goop has left me a bit drained today. So, apologize, but I'm going to step out early. And because I have no idea how late it's after dinner, so.
No, I imagine that is taking you guys probably an hour or two to go through and think about and discuss and eat. So it's evening, early-ish evening, but evening. Do you actually go back up to your room or?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, I'm not going to escape to do something on my own.
Sneak out the back.
I'm going to go threaten people to the cages.
To the cage with you. All right. What do the rest of you do?
I stay at the table until everyone has gone up.
Gedry's going to be up pretty quickly after Kata too.
I'd follow, like, almost like, actually, when Gedry stands up, I would actually stand up with him and be like, yeah, I have something I need to do in my room before bed, so I do need to go to bed at this time. And like I'll like squeeze Silraz on his shoulder and walk away.
So we'll look around the table and notice that it's just Mina left, and yeah. And he'll stand up and walk up to his room.
Well, bye.
A+ social skills right there.
Yes. Mina, do you stay for a while afterwards, or?
I would finish the last cup of wine. I'd probably be like on my third cup or something by that point, and pretty significantly tipsy. And and then once that's done, I would get up and then also go to bed.
Okay, cool.
How large are our rooms?
They're decently sized. So the beds in them are basically like little twin beds. They are tiny beds. And there's a dresser, and then there was space for a tub. When you guys go back to the room, you do notice, well, except for Gedry, because the door was locked, yeah? Right? You had Arcane locked it?
No, it was alarmed. So if anybody
alarmed.
touched the door, it would ping my mentally.
Okay. Well, you still have the bathtub in your room. Everybody else's bathtub in the basin has gone away, and your alarm did not go off.
Okay.
Well, it sounds like there's enough room, so we'll spend some time in his room doing his monk kata. Not to be confused with party member kata.
I'll haul the tub out of my room and leave it in the hallway. Then refresh the alarm.
Tip.
I don't dump it, I just leave it out there.
We just hear the grating of iron on wood. He drags it out.
Yeah. All right. The night when you guys go to bed passes without incidents without things happening. um, I don't know what time you guys all wake up, but you have acclimated to the time. One thing you did notice that the outside, it didn't seem to really, like, the time, like, light didn't dim or anything. It wasn't like a sun setting or rising or anything. It just, the outside was a consistent lighting.
Were we? You aren't doing anything specific for long rests, right? You're not changing the rules on that. It's
no. I think the only thing I did was I shortened that if you guys do a short rest, it only takes 15 minutes. But as
but
far
you
as
can
long
only
rests, they're
get
normal.
a short rest get your short rest stuff back every so often or something like that. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, I gotta look at exactly what I said. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, it's fine.
Been a while.
It's not impacted yet, but it was just
Mm-hmm.
Humans get inspiration at the beginning of every long rest, so I want to make sure that
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, heroic inspiration, new edition.
They do?
Yep.
That's the big human thing now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a nice bonus.
I'm also human.
I'm rolling
And
my
it's-
important
and-
dice for the next day here.
And it's not like the old inspiration where you just
That
got
is excellent.
advantage or something once. Wow, that is the second best grouping you could have gotten.
I remember what it was about short rest. So you can take as many short rests as you want, but you only gain back your things that rejigger on a short rest if you have hit die available to use. You have to
Okay.
essentially spend one of them like to heal or to get back
Mhm.
your stuff. So it's still limited in like in how much you can do, but like, you know.
Okay. So yeah, I'll say I get up early and I go down to the person at the desk, tell them that I would like to summon Parisa in a little bit.
Okay. It is it's not Rianne, it's another random dwarf person, and they're like, "Yep, we'll get right on that." Usually takes her about 30 minutes ish to show up, depending on where she's at. So
Do you guys work with her often or something? Is that
yeah.
been around, trustworthy-ish?
Oh, she's very reliable. She tends to have a really good nose for the right sort, like not people who cause problems and stuff. So
And where does she normally operate out of, if you know?
Oh, do you mean like where she lives or stays?
No, I mean, we were exploring and she found us in the Hive.
Oh, that's not a great place to be.
It was not. That's why we were trying to leave there.
You'd have to ask her, but as far as I know, she goes all over the city for the most part, as people in need can be found anywhere.
Right. Thank you. And I'll go and start doing all the breakfast stuff.
You sit down, she brings out, whatever you want to drink, and then they'll bring out also like some hard-boiled eggs, like multicolored, different shaped, like some kind of animal eggs, and various breads and cheeses and fruits again.
Gotcha. I'll graze or whatever until people arrive, and we'll get going with our day.
I'll come down shortly after, wearing the clothing that I was in originally. Now that that's been cleaned and dried. And look around until I find a familiar face and also sit down and graze.
There we go. Sorry, I'm looking up something real quick.
Gendry wouldn't be up too late either, and he would be very eager to eat eggs.
Did you say too angry to eat eggs?
No, very eager to.
Oh.
He likes
Okay.
eggs.
I was like, how can you be too angry to eat eggs?
He's too busy huffing and puffing, he might choke.
Right.
I mean, weird thing, like my mom loathed eggs, so we didn't ever get them at home. Like we'd have to
Oh.
go out to eat for my brother and I to get eggs.
That's
Those
the
are
way.
that is my favorite food.
Yeah. That's the way my mom is with mashed potatoes.
Oh,
Like,
like we eat a ton of
absolutely
them
hates
now.
them.
I mean, I live in an Asian household, but
Mhm.
My mom was that way with marshmallows.
That's
They
interesting.
were never allowed in our house.
Wow.
So now that I'm an adult, there are always marshmallows in my home.
Mhm. Yep.
My mom hated Brussels sprouts, so there's that.
Do you love Brussels sprouts as an adult?
I actually really like them roasted. And so that's one of the vegetables I eat the most frequently.
That's amazing.
That's my favorite vegetable.
Mm-hmm.
I support this.
Oh,
All right.
I roast them with like oil and a bunch of seasonings. and it's really
It really doesn't take that much. Like,
good. No?
they're amazingly tasty.
Unless
Right.
you're Sil, then they're disgusting.
Sigh.
okay, my wife doesn't like them either, so I just make them for myself, and she either goes without or I'll make something else for her if she wants it. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So we have.
Gedry went down first.
Yeah, I think so. No, Sil. I thought.
Sil went down first.
It was Kata, Sil, and then Gedry.
Oh,
I think.
that's right.
Okay.
Kata, Sil, Gedry. So those three are down. Just the ladies are being slow the morning.
Oh no, I would have been fairly quick behind them.
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm as I'm coming down the stairs, you guys hear like a squeaky yipping noise,
Okay.
and there is a small fox bouncing around at my feet, like walking, like I'm walking, and they're like doing the whole like all over the place, like around me, in between my feet, and I'm just like casually stepping over them. And I come over and I sit down next to Sil, and it like jumps up in my lap and like curls up in a little ball, and I give like this big exasperated sigh, and I'm like, that's the first time it stopped moving since I went to bed last night.
Did you even bother to see if they allow pets?
It just showed up.
we'll make it go away.
No. It's growing on me.
It's a tumor.
Is
Like
that
a fungus?
actually growing?
No, I'm getting used to having it around. I was laughing with it, which is why it was delayed. It turned my room into a racetrack. You know, just kind of like all over the place. It was really funny when it went head first into the door.
That was that bang.
Yeah.
How did it get in?
I may have summoned it, but it wasn't supposed to be a fox. And like you guys look, like if like I know, it's like I'm sitting next to Silra, so he can see it. You can see like the fox's fur is like shifting and changing to match the color of my pants.
And I'm just imagining like all traditional cat things, its tail like whipping you occasionally in the face or something.
Oh, absolutely. Big, fluffy, bushy tail all over the place. Yeah, it should have been a dog. Well, it should have been a wolf. I don't know how. I don't trust magic right now.
Well, keep it around.
Is
We
this-
may need food on the road.
You couldn't eat my wolf, you can't eat my fox.
That sounds like a challenge.
Horaz, I will end you. Told you, you can eat anything with scales. If it's fluffy or feathered, you can't touch it.
I'm not on the list.
Apparently you can't, if it's shelled, you can't have it either.
I was never a fan of turtle meat anyway.
He's a turtle. Not with a U, with an O.
Kidji just points at her. Thumbs up.
I assume it tastes the same.
That's like saying elves and like a wood elf and a human taste the same. And no, don't tell me you've tried it. I don't want to know.
I mean, they're not far off. It's all about the seasonings.
Really hope if we get into trouble that you do not. Please try not to eat things in like front of.
Are you telling me a spiderling then and a silk lurker would taste the same?
I mean, close.
That's her.
At what
No.
point does Mina come down?
I would have been last, mostly because she would have spent a whole bunch of time doing her hair and makeup.
Ah, yes.
And she would come down and join everyone with a fresh face of kohl eyeliner and like blood red lipstick and perfectly combed hair, and sit down.
Yeah, luckily it's early enough that the dining area is pretty sparse right now.
Good. So I'm guessing our server brought like a platter of breakfast foods and we're just dishing it like family style.
Yeah, it's a bunch of hard-boiled eggs of various colors and sizes, fruits, cheeses, breads.
Please tell me there's green eggs.
Uh-huh.
Fantastic. That's what I take.
The
Oh.
entire party.
Don't give it to your fox.
Did you say don't give it to my fox?
Mm.
Why?
He will not have green eggs and ham.
No, I don't want him to have green eggs and ham. The reason I'm doing
lying.
I know. I knew where you were going. And as soon as I asked if there were green eggs, I was like, someone's gonna go there. I know it. But like
I
so
have small
'cause-
children who love Dr. Seuss, so
That's fair. But
But
no,
does
like
the
I
fox
do.
wear socks?
Not yet.
Fox Knox. We literally read that this evening.
Aw.
So now I have to go there. I have a friend of mine who is absolutely obsessed with Dr. Seuss. She lives in Texas. She is a theater director. Her son's name is Knox
Oh. Wow.
because of that. Yeah. It's a little, yeah. She's awesome. But yes, but I do the reason I asked for like if there were green eggs basically was to test the color changing of the fox.
Ah.
And you guys see me feed him like different colored stuff, and he doesn't change color, but if I put him on the ground, he changes to match the color of the ground.
He's a chameleon fox.
I'm like, well, crap.
So
I
you're
thought I
feeding
could.
your child a bunch of carrots to see them turn orange?
But he doesn't turn orange. I tried. Should probably name him.
You need better control over that magic.
I don't think it's the magic. I think it's the place. I vaguely I remember doing this before. I remember the Arctic wolf that would follow me. I can't remember his name, but he would be there. And he would follow me and we would do stuff.
I'm gonna hold up one claw and then do a little bit of a gesture. And are they gonna summon my rat familiar?
Mm-hmm.
We'll just come up for like behind my neck and onto my shoulder. Does he look like a regular rat?
He looks however he normally looks for you.
I immediately frown.
I look over him. So he's like a white rat. Like
Mm-hmm.
I like. Rex looks totally normal. Not sure why.
You named that thing?
It's a familiar. It is a fey spirit that I pulled into my service.
A rat.
It could have been anything else. A rat was useful. And I'll dispel him, and so he'll like run back behind my head and vanish.
Frowning, I'd be like, just give me a heads up next time you have that thing.
It's furry, it's fine.
Does it bother you?
I have spent a lot of time, at least I think I have, in cities. Too many rats.
Well, if you were listening yesterday, their primary form of communication over long distance are rats.
I did, and I'm not happy about it.
Curious how they breed those rats to be able to communicate.
Said something they're psychic.
Right, but there's got to be something there that's leaning towards that. I don't know. Like, is it magic that they've imbued into the rats, or is it an innate ability that they've bred to the point of it being a forefront ability? Like when two redheads get together and they have a redheaded child. Cease is very much a redhead.
Isn't that what always happens? I mean, isn't that the expectation? Red and red is red?
No. Red is not a dominant trait is the term that the teacher used. I don't know. I didn't study traits very well. That's why I don't do that. But like two redheaded people could have a brown-haired child. It's not like it wouldn't be expected, but it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wonder, is this an innate ability in the rats that they were like, "Oh, look what the rat can do," or they're like, "Look, let's take a rat and like fill it full of magic and then send it out to go send messages." I'm just curious.
A lot of wizards do very strange things for unfathomable reasons.
I know. Sorry, I'm on limited sleep. The fox may have played trampoline on my face most of the night.
About this time, Parisa shows up and walks over to you guys and is like, I was told you were in need of my services today.
Hi, darling. It's good to see you again.
Hi.
And I would, again, just a little soft touch right on her shoulder.
Mina, stop flirting with the tour guide.
I said I'm flirting. I'm merely being friendly. You should
And,
try.
you know, if Rex's form bothers you, I'll bribe my Rex with some additional funds to get him to pick a different form.
I think your rat is gorgeous.
Mina makes a sound somewhere between a snort and a giggle at that statement.
Which statement? That the rat was gorgeous?
Yeah.
About that time, like the fox jumps back with my lap and like peers its head over the table, and it's just like this little itty bitty head.
See, I think he's fine.
He is obnoxious, which is going to be his whole point in life. To be obnoxious to everybody but me. Wonder if I could send him to torment.
Parisa,
Yeah.
we first would like to go to the market. We didn't plan our arrival here very well and need to do some resupply. We even have some things that we might want to sell at a vendor, perhaps.
What sort of things were you looking to sell and buy? Because the bazaar is quite large.
My robes are stained, and it's not coming out. And they're not particularly well suited for being out and about.
Okay.
I just need to see blacksmith. I don't need to carry 2 sets of armor anymore.
Okay. So I think there's one section that can handle both of those things. It's not too far away.
Excellent. And then afterwards, do you know of healers? I'm not sure if they need to be magical or not, but magical if that thing exists here.
There's actually, so although like gods themselves are not allowed here, there's actually temples to all kinds of gods throughout the city. I could take you to any one of them. They would be able to heal or whatever you need in that respect. Usually it's a little bit pricey though. They don't usually do things for free because materials for spells and stuff.
Makes sense. Well, I think we're about ready if we want to get going.
Would you want to stop at one of the temples on the way? Because there is one between here and where you need to go in the bazaar.
Cease, if you had any thoughts about that.
So I have a few. Which temple is on the way?
What is his name? There's so many gods, like it's hard to keep track of them. I think the closest one that's more directly to the part of the bazaar we need to is for Cyrus, Cyril, something like that.
I'm looking something up.
Do you mean Cyrillus?
Could be Cyrillus. I'm not sure. Something like that. Seer, sire, something along those way.
What are you thinking, Soraz?
Nothing.
I would also want to head to a marketplace.
Does Mina say that out loud?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of things are you looking for?
I would like to add to my supply of daggers.
Oh, so we're going to Backsmith. That'll work. Cool.
Yeah. RP wise, Mina's the kind of person who has a dagger in her, chest pocket, a dagger in each shoe, a dagger in her back pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Probably one of those girls that, spins the hair ponytail and puts a dagger in the back.
Uh-huh.
Especially because one of them is now a little grody after stabbing a slime monster.
Mm-hmm. Puddins will do that.
I think it was Talash.
Yeah, I think it was the second. Hey.
I remember none of your guys' names, so.
That's fine.
So I guess in character. So I guess maybe we will both run our errands a little separately. If Cease is wanting to visit a temple.
Well, the temple was on the way to the bazaar.
Oh, fair enough.
Do you know if there is a temple for Mar?
Mar? Let me think. Marmar. Can you do they have most gods have like a symbol
I've not visited one of their temples often. So I can't remember the symbol. But I know a lot of our good healers were always found in the Temple of Mar.
Well, I do know that regardless of the god worshipped in the temples here, all of them have healers. So I just can't remember for sure if there's a Mar around. There's so many gods, so many gods. It's a little wild.
Okay. What about Tunair?
Tunair. Like tuna.
Do you recognize any of these names, Kata?
No. To be fair, I didn't pay attention to all of them anyway because none of them have done any good for me.
Actually, I think now that I think about it, I think the temple for Cyric, whatever, Seer something, is right next to, I think it's Tunisia, to something.
Tuna?
Could be tuna.
if there is a tuna god in this world, I'm going to be very concerned. 'Cause
I'm
I've been
getting a
telling.
bad feeling.
Oh no. Well, we'll go look and we'll see. We'll see what these temples are and what healers are there, and we'll figure it out. We'll see what these temples are first. So we'll stop at the temple on the way to the market. Is that my understanding?
Yes.
Okay. Absolutely. Sounds fantastic.
Okay.
And I do one of those like total armpit piranha movements where like I scoop up the fox and I like put him up under my arm like this
Mhm.
and like get up from the table.
All right. Sorry, I'm just double checking something right now, real quick. That's it. All right. Cool. Cool. All right. So, was there anything anybody else wanted to do before you guys leave to go do the errands? All right. Cool. So, uh, the temples are actually not that far away. Takes about 10-20 minutes to wind your way through the streets. You know, it's early morning. They're not that busy yet, but there is a fair amount of people like going about their day business. And when she arrives at the temples, she goes, "Oh, okay, yeah, they are right next together." So that one, and she points to a very obvious like temple with a in the center where you would expect like some kind of symbol or whatever. The symbol is a skull with like sunbeams or something like it behind it. And right next to it is a more like nature-ish kind of temple. Like it just has like, you know, leaves and stuff and like animals like engraved on the walls and all of that kind of stuff. And they're literally right next to each other.
Gedru would like to make a religion check.
Yeah, go ahead.
Recognize them.
Go ahead.
It's a 17. He
Oh,
only know the Faerunian pantheon.
Yeah, I was gonna say you recognize the Cyric one. It's definitely Cyric.
I'll point to the skull and be like, "That is a temple to the god of murder. I do not suggest them for healing."
I doubt they provide healing based on that description.
I'm pretty sure they do. Like, all the temples around here have healers.
Healing seems pretty against what they worship. But
Depends on what the price they charge for it is. They may just ask you to commit a murder. Either way, if temples are all over the place and there are many gods to go to, I would suggest not the god of murder.
I don't recognize the symbol at all.
You don't recognize the one that they're talking about, but you would recognize the other one. Because it Cease has a necklace with it.
I was worried the other one would be Tolona, which is the goddess of poison, but I do not recognize that symbol. And Cease's muted.
You're muted, Cease.
Yeah. I was like, wait.
My phone keeps randomly muting, so I've been unmuting myself like
Aw.
constantly. Yeah, like we're standing in front of it and I see the symbol and I literally like just grab my thumbs in and pull the necklace out
Mm-hmm.
and like just grab my medallion.
Mm-hmm.
and it's just one of those moments where I'm like, oh my gosh, we found one. It really is. Like there's like just oodles of hope in her eyes.
What did we find?
Tunair, the guy. This is my deity. She is the one that like that imbues me with power.
Then they should be willing to help you.
Nature.
That's the plan.
Ooh.
I make a rude gesture at Silraz. And Silraz, like, to everybody else, they'd be like, all right, she made a rude gesture. But Silraz would know, like, this is only, like, the third time in our entire relationship that I've ever given him a rude gesture. It's very rarely. And all 3 times, it has regarded Tunair. But I do that, and then I start walking into the temple.
As you go in, Priest says, like, I'll just wait for you guys out here. They should be able to help you with whatever you need. And she kind of like sits down out in front of the temple. Yay. Realizations.
So when we go in, like, who all is in there?
It's just it's like there's like lower level like novice and priests and what just milling about. Like there's not a whole lot of people, there's a few people basically.
Okay. I try to get somebody's attention. Not like rudely, but like
right.
And Silraz stays outside.
Okay.
Nina stays outside too, and she would just make polite small talk with our guide.
All right.
Gendry absolutely walks in with her.
Yep.
And nobody's stopping him.
Okay. Awesome.
I would be smote if I went in there.
he's not wrong.
All right. It takes you a minute, but you get the attention of somebody who comes over. And also, you notice like a little bit weirdly, because like when you've been out in the city, you're seeing like people of all types, like things that you don't have no idea what they are, like all kinds of things, creatures. You did notice when you're looking around in here that everybody looks like elves in here. Oddly. Hey, somebody comes over, she's like, oh, yes, miss, what can I do for you?
Yes, I'm looking for the head healer.
Head healer? Oh. What, may I ask why you need somebody of such elevated status for healing? You look fine.
There is a concern regarding memories.
Oh, interesting. So, one of your friends having a memory issue?
I am.
Oh. Is it... like, how bad?
Very.
Okay. Give me a few minutes. Let me go see if I can, get them from what they're doing. It may take a minute.
It. Absolutely.
All right. And he wanders away. In the meantime, do you guys just stand around in the lobby, like, do?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just chilling, glancing around, watching things, observing.
Okay. It looks like people are just, tending to the general temple stuff. Nothing out of the ordinary or weird. After like 10 minutes or so, a much older elf walks up and he introduces himself as the head healer, the priest of this temple, and asks, what may I do for you?
Well, I need to have my head checked. And I'm going to explain this in the best way that I can. There is a concern that my memories have been damaged, lost, or taken. And I don't know if it's from being hit upside the head, to be completely honest, because I know that that is a possibility. Or if it was magic that took them and they are no longer available. Or if they're locked. I don't know. But when I try to remember things, they I don't know, it's like being able to see something from far off, but you can't get close enough to touch it.
Like
If
there's
that makes sense.
like an invisible wall blocking or something, or
Yeah.
interesting.
Like trying to pull a cloud down from the sky. It's hard.
Yeah, let's go back into the Sanctum and I can give you a once over. He looks at the Gedry and Kata is like, will you be joining us as well, or?
I'd love to observe.
Yeah, I don't care.
Just wait.
Okay. So he takes Gedry and Cease back. Cease, he has you like, sit up on like essentially like a stone table, basically.
Crinkly paper on it.
No crinkly
Yeah, right.
paper.
Dang it.
Yeah. And he's like, okay, just give me a moment. He prays a little and then his hands start glowing and he just kind of does the like wave his hands around without touching you kind of thing.
Mhm.
And he's like, He's like, okay, I need to look at the rest of you, if that's okay.
Sure.
Okay. And he's just like, as he is checking out the rest of you, he's just like, looks kind of confused. And he finishes, he's like, huh.
If you tell me I'm
Interesting.
dead, I'm going to be very uncomfortable.
You're not dead. And I don't sense any magic upon you.
But
your soul seems a little weird. Like
fine
thinner.
weird.
Like thinner than it would normally be.
Is that not normal for this place?
No. You travel people who travel here and it does not change them.
Okay.
How long have you been here?
I don't know.
Oh, that's
The
part
whole
of the
memory
memory
thing.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I woke up in a mortuary? Is that what that's called?
One of many terms you could use.
You
The
were in
place
the
where the dead are-
mortuary?
Yeah. Hence, lost memories. Woke
But
up
you're
on a
not
table.
dead.
I am, yes.
Imagine our surprise.
I bet they were surprised too.
We met a lot of dead while we were down there.
That really shouldn't be possible because the chutes and the portals that go into the mortuary like should filter out the live.
Could a delayed revivify cause that?
Oh. Maybe? I don't know. I've never heard of that, but maybe.
I mean, if someone was casting Revivify as... I don't even know how we got through the portal.
But you don't know how you got to Sigil in the first place.
Exactly. We were hoping
Well-
to get some answers as to where our memory is, but if you're saying my soul is thinner than it should be.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes travel through portal can cause kind of like temporary amnesia. Well, it usually takes a few days to clear up.
Okay.
I don't know why your soul seems thinner, though. And I don't know why you, like, how you would be in the mortuary and be alive. That's astonishing.
I am here to astonish and amaze, apparently.
Indeed. Unfortunately, I don't know that I can do anything for you.
So my memories were not stolen, and they're not blocked. They're
Not as
just in
far as I can tell.
some possible side effect.
They may
Probably.
be bound with the rest of your soul.
Is it possible for a soul to travel through planes without a portal to catch up with the rest of itself?
I wouldn't think so, but I don't know.
Just brings more questions. I still have no answers, and I just have more questions.
I'm
We have more
sorry.
specific questions.
This is true, but still more questions. And I'm like frantically petting the fox at this point. He has become my emotional support fox in this moment.
At this point, the healer looks over at Gedry and is like, "Are you suffering from the same mental issue?"
It appears so, yes.
Can I check you to see if your soul is also thin?
I imagine it is, but you can check.
I mean, just to confirm my hypothesis. He goes. He's like, "Yep. I'm not sure. Well, I'm not too familiar with your Tortollans. I haven't seen many, but your soul does seem a bit thin too."
Excellent.
Well, thank you for your time. Well, we are leaving with more questions. Gedry is right, they are more direct questions. Gedry, how about we go see somebody about a robe for you?
Sure, that's a problem we can address.
That's exactly what I was thinking. And I like hop off the table.
I can consult with some others and whatnot if I find out anything. Where should I send a message? Would you like to know, or?
I would love to know. I'm staying at
The ubiquitous Wayfarer.
yes.
Ah,
I almost said Seafarer or something or other. My goodness.
very good. I will do that.
Thank you again.
Oh, thank you.
I give like the typical like may Tunair bless you and whatever, and then like a low like a very like just a shallow bow, and then start walking out. And I'm still holding the fox in like a football hold, petting him.
Yeah.
He's extra fluffy, fur is just flying off. It's fine. And I go back out to where Kat is waiting for us.
That was fast.
Something took parts of our souls.
Our souls are thin. Well, thinner than they should be.
Do we need those?
Possibly. Could be pertinent.
I imagine it's why our memories are missing.
Does a thinner soul mean that you'll act differently than you ought to? Like if you were nice, would you be mean? Or if you were mean, would you suddenly be nice?
Some theories say that your memories shape who you are. If you have been through a lot of trauma, then that trauma will affect who you are in the future. So if you forget the trauma,
Do you then forget the emotional context in which that trauma was placed?
and perhaps you no longer have the reactions you would have because of that trauma.
Is
Hmm.
the soul thinner because pieces are missing, or is it just gone and there's less now?
Good question. No
They
answer.
said thinner.
I did pose a question to them, and they're going to look into it further. Maybe get an answer? I don't know. I trust that Tunair will guide them, although with Tunair not able to be here, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what level of communication they have with gods and goddesses here to them. I don't really understand how that's affected.
Got it. Well, I guess that takes us a step closer, but I figure if the religious don't know how to fix our soul, then I mean that's the point.
I need
of it, right?
shopping. I need shopping therapy. I've just been told I have a thinner soul. I'm going shopping.
Sure.
I start walking out.
Yeah, open the door and
As you guys come out, Parisa stands up and is like, "Oh, everything all good now?"
Which way to market?
Oh, this way.
I fall in step, like I'm behind Silraz, whichever direction, wherever he lands in the
Mhm.
walk. I just fall in behind him.
All right. It takes like another 10 or so minutes to get over there. First place they stop at, Parisa's like, "I believe this shop would probably have ropes for you." Hedry?
Sure. I'll walk into the shop then.
Yeah, it looks like a basic like textile kind of shop.
I was looking for standard robes that can be adjusted for the shell and everything.
Yep. They don't have anything that would immediately that would fit you, but they tell you they can make some quick adjustments and send it over to wherever you're staying by the end of the day.
Tell them that's fine. So give them that I'm at the Ubiquitous Wayfarer.
Okay.
I'll pay up front, I assume.
Yeah, I was gonna say whatever regular ropes are. Yeah, so
1 gold.
takes care of takes about like 20-30 minutes from to get all the measurements and make sure they have everything right. And is there anything else we can do for you before you head out?
Do you sell hats?
Yeah.
Looking for standard like wizard hat kind of thing.
Oh yeah, we have a variety. They bring out like 12 different hats in a variety of colors and sizes and whatnot.
Pick one up that's relatively soft and like felty kind of thing.
All right.
Plop it on.
Works.
That one will wear out though.
Yeah.
I don't know what to pay for that. I'll pay the same as the robes.
Sorry. Yeah, they just are like, nah, take the hat. It's fine. The robes will cover. All right. When you come back out. All right. And then Priest looks around and we also needed a blacksmith? Is that right? Yeah. Okay. think that's a little bit further on the other side. So as she's walking you through the bazaar, you notice that there is like a bookshop somewhere. There's like a alchemy shop. There's like all kinds of other shops that you're going by. In the middle of a little courtyard, there's like what looks like a theater troupe putting on like a play or whatever. And if you guys want to stop at anything on the way, you just let her know and she'll stop. But otherwise, she keeps you on to the blacksmith, and you get there. She introduces, I think Kata had asked for the blacksmith first, so she'll introduce Kata to the blacksmith, who is a Goliath named Bert. Bert.
Excellent. I came into a new set of armor and no longer need to carry two. So the other set that I have, and I pull out this chainmail, is damaged. But if you're able to repair and repurpose, all the better, right?
He takes it, looks at it. He's like, it's not too badly damaged. He like just examines it a little bit more, like double checking all of the fastenings and everything. And hold on a second. Sorry.
Yep, you're good. I'm not expecting to get monumental amounts out of it, and that's fine. So
yeah. He's like, I think I could probably do like 50 gold for this. Would that work?
that's perfectly acceptable.
All right.
You said 50.
Yep.
Okay. Well, now I can get rid of this ton of weight.
You're a little bit lighter. Did anybody else need anything today from me?
My lovely compatriot here, Mina, did you still need more pointy things?
Pointy things. Wow.
I'd walk up to the blacksmith and like hold out my hand to shake his or whatever, and just be like, I'm looking for some daggers.
Oh, I have a variety of daggers. What kind of daggers are you looking for?
Oh, well, I usually tend towards the basic, but what do you have?
Oh, I have some silver daggers. I have some daggers that are made out of iron. Have like an adamantine dagger. I work with a lot of things.
Fascinating. Tell me about your prices.
Well, that's where it gets tricky. Sorry. Dagger. I don't remember the price of all those kind of daggers. My bad.
Being a little in my way. There he goes.
So, your standard dagger would cost about 2 gold per, dagger. I've only got like 3 or 4 of those on hand right now. Silver dagger's gonna cost a bit more because, it's a precious metal. It's harder to work with. So those probably be about like 20 gold per. And then if you want like the adamantine one, those are special. Probably more like 50 gold. I only have one of those.
I will take 1 of your silver and 2 of your iron.
Fantastic. Will you? Sorry, cat. Move it.
What
Thank you.
does the adamantine do for a dagger?
It really just reinforces it a bit more. Honestly, I think most of the attraction to it is it looks a bit more fancy, and some people really like that. But it sometimes when you make things more fancy, they become less sturdy, like less usable. They don't work as well. These keep the usability, but look fancy.
All right, so as I'm adding these to my inventory, how much is the total price? Like 24, I think, if I said right, if I mathed
Yep.
right.
Yep.
24, and then would these all just be daggers, or is there specifically silver daggers I can add?
I think there used to be silver daggers.
Yeah, I think there used to be.
Yeah. I don't know how they do them now.
Yeah, you can type in silvered whatever, and there is a silvered dagger.
Okay. And how many of them? Oh, I said 2. Okay.
Yeah, 2 of the regular and 1 silver, you said.
I would put the silver one, like hook it onto my belts, and I would put the other 2 in whatever weird places I can find, like one in my sleeve and like, one in my other back pocket that's not already occupying a dagger.
Mm-hmm. Cool. I'd say between the travel and the healer and all of that stuff, you guys have probably spent like 2 or 3 hours so far in the day. So, when you come back out, Carissa will be like, so is there anywhere else I can take you or help you guys with things today?
I lied. I actually would have wanted something at the blacksmith.
Oh.
I forgot I corroded my knuckle dusters on that
Right.
black pudding set. Be looking for a replacement for those.
So he looks at it, he's like, oh, this is an unusual item. I could make you something to replace it, but it's gonna take a day. I don't have anything like this on hand.
That's fine. We have nowhere to be.
Okay. You want it in the same material?
That or better.
Wow. How much you're willing to pay?
Depends on how much better.
Well, I mean, like I was telling him, I can make it adamantine, but that's gonna run you, I think a good 50 gold. Otherwise, I could silver it for 20 gold, or just make it like it is for, 4 gold.
Sorry, I'm just looking up the different effects.
Mm-hmm.
What
I'm
was
pretty
the,
sure. Go ahead.
What was the silvered cost?
Silver cost was 20 gold.
I'll take it silvered.
Okay. Yep. Come back tomorrow evening, I'd say. Oh, in the meantime, can I hold on to this so I can match it and make sure it's
Yes.
right? Okay. And you see him, he takes it and starts like doing measurements and stuff. Anybody else need anything? No?
So,
All right. Have a good day. So yeah, you guys are back outside, and Carissa again poses a question. Anything else I can take you guys or help you with today? I heard there's a really cool theater troupe if you guys want to check it out close by here.
Sure.
An adventure.
We
Alright.
may as well kill some time.
From what I hear, they are quite good. Anyways, she starts taking you guys off back around a little bit the way you came. You do hear like there's some arguing up ahead. It's a little bit heated, but it's not like, it doesn't seem like the arguing is going to come to blows or anything. It's very like, you know, adamant. And there's a small crowd that has started to gather around these people. And right as you guys are about to pass by them, let me show you what they look like real quick. Sorry. This is one of them. This is another one. And the last one. Oh my god. Not you. Stop it.
First, picture, they have a super cool cloak.
Mm-hmm. There's the last one. Alright. Those three are arguing. Right as you guys are starting to pass by them, the first one that I linked to you points over in your general direction and is like, you guys, come here. I think you can settle this for us.
Settle your own problems.
But we're at an impasse. We need an outsider's point of view to settle this debate.
What?
Do you guys walk over closer to them?
You're muted.
Gendry's like, I like problems, and he'll walk over closer.
Nice. So, Teresa is hanging in the back when you guys walk over. The first one says, we're having a debate about the gods and the role that they play. I am probably the most likely to be right because I can't really see any other way around it. But the truth of the matter is, in the grand scheme of like the universe, the gods are all false. They're people who have like powers and stuff, but they're not really gods and they're not really deserving of anybody's worship. It's overblown. And as soon as they say that, the second one chimes in, is like, I agree that oh wait, not the second one, I think. Yep, nope. The last one, the third one, pipes up with, I agree that the gods are false and don't deserve to be worshipped and nothing matters. Only in that none of anything matters. Nothing matters. This debate doesn't even matter. Nothing matters at all. And at that point, the second one pops up and says, you both are ridiculous. The gods are legitimate, powerful beings. And yes, anybody through self-enlightenment and growth can become a god, but they are very worthy of your worship. At that point, they turn to you, Gendry, and was like, so which one of us is right?
I think it's obvious. You all are.
What?
To you, who said that the gods are just entities that have power. That's true, but if you worship them as a cleric, do they not grant you power as well?
Yes.
So that's an exchange of worship for power. There is a function there. So they are real.
Mm-hmm.
And to you, who said that they are real and deserve to be worshipped, that admitting to that point there as well. They are real. Worship does earn you the capacity to wield their power. And to you, who was fully nihilistic, and that nothing matters. Of course nothing matters. We have to make meaning ourselves, for ourselves.
They kind of like glare at you, scrunch up, and they're like, why? Why did we bother? Blah! And they all like take off walking down the way.
Did I not say handled their own problems?
In a huff.
Henry nods and says, if everyone is dissatisfied with my answer, it was the best answer.
Nobody liked it. Parisa walks up and she's like, you handled that very well. That could have been bad. Very bad.
It's funny how people are upset when you tell them that they're each right.
Or each wrong, depending on how you look at it.
It's almost as if they were more interested in the others being wrong than in themselves being correct.
Yeah, that's how the factions are with each other. Always.
So you could tell that they were each from a different faction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The one that was saying that the gods are false and you know, they're unworthy of worship. He was part of the Aether faction, which is ATHAR. If you're noting it, I didn't know if you were. The one that agrees that, you know, the gods don't matter, but nothing matters. That was from the Bleak Cabal. And then the one who is saying that the gods are deserving of worship is from the Mind's Eye.
What was the second one?
The Bleak Cabal.
Bleak Cabal. I see. And were you expecting violence out of that?
It could have been. Yeah, it could have been. If it was handled worse, or like, you know, if you told one of them they were definitely right, maybe that one would have taken you under their wing. It's hard to know with them, really.
Hmm.
Well, I'm not particularly religious, but it also seems folly to deny that the gods have power, so...
Yep. There's a lot of different ways to look at it. Anyways.
So this show?
Yes. On to the show. And I think that's where we're actually going to end for the night, because it is getting late. But also I say, everybody, I know you already have it for the humans, but everybody else take inspiration, because there's some really good roleplay tonight. That was fun.
Double inspiration.
Double! Yay. Nothing tried to kill you today. Yay.
Today.
24 hours without dying.
Woo!
It's true, I've not been considered dead today.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say that about yesterday, but today's looking like a great day.
Yep. Cool. So, is there any questions about anything before we adjourn, or comments, thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's just something that'll have to be covered in game, like getting a better understanding of what the factions do, and whether it's worth our time to actually try to do anything about that. So I'm pretty sure a nihilistic faction can't be too beneficial to anyone, because what does their support mean? It means nothing.
Yep. It's really fascinating. I will say one thing that is interesting to me about the factions is none of them are
Yes,
like good or evil aligned, you know? Like they just have their worldview and that's it.
Mm-hmm. I can't
Or
say.
there's none of them that are connected to the Lady of Pain or any kind of official government or at all. They're just like all but just bastards who are making trouble for everybody else.
Yeah.
Can't say I want to join the Mind's Eye if that's their uniform.
It's very pretty, very blue. All right. So this, I don't remember if I moved you guys back to it. Yep, there we go. This screen with the rats and all the other things going on is kind of what I'm going to use as the basic background for when we're doing things that don't need an actual map or whatever. So, awesome.
Cool. And you said we're still good to go next week, but not the weekend at the 30th.
I believe so. Let me look. Yes, next week is fine. The weekend of the 30th, I will not be here.
Okay. All right. Good deal.
Mm-hmm.
No loss of life tonight. Good job, everyone.
Yay. You learned some new information, too.
Mm-hmm.
No loss of life so far. We still have a theater show to go to.
Anything can happen.
Cool.
All right.
Thanks for the game, everyone.
Yep.
Good night.
Bye.
Everyone.
All right, and we're gonna call it there because we are done for the night. I hope you enjoyed the new background music. I found that on short notice. It sounds pretty good. I might download it because right now it's running in a browser, and I'm not a huge fan of that. But yeah, so that was cool. A little more world building. We're on a Halo ring in the middle of all the plains. We found out our souls are thin. Yeah, so that's something. Tomorrow night is going to be raid night, 7:30 Eastern. We will be, I believe, going back into Mythic, working on Mythic Sikrin. We got him to like 40% with just a handful of pulls first time we saw him, so he will probably go down tomorrow night. And then we'll be working on Rashanan. Yeah, that'll be tomorrow night. So until then, why did the music stop? Oh, because the page keeps running out of memory. Awesome. Anyway. Come on. Give me... Okay, that music will work. Whatever, I just need some music. So yeah. So I'll be back tomorrow night at 7:30, and until then, as always, thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out. And you have a great night.